This video is made possible by Practical Defense Systems, the best online security training at the lowest prices. You can start your security career today online at pdsclasses.com. Check them out. Hi, this is Joel Persinger. I'm the Gun Guy. Thank you very much for all of your support of GunGuyTV. I'm very, very grateful for what you do. Please do check us out on these other platforms. We duplicate the channel in all of those places, just in case something happens to us on YouTube, which is always possible. And if you wouldn't mind, check out the GunGuyTV Firearms podcast. You can listen to it on your way to work or on your way home or whatever in your favorite podcast player, and it is growing like crazy. So I'm very, very thrilled about that. Okay, what am I talking about now? I'm talking about the Boyd's gun stock that I have on this Savage Axis II rifle. Why? Well, okay. First of all, these little Savage rifles have huge accuracy potential in my experience. I have a bunch of friends with them. Some have them in light calibers, .223, .243, and like that. And they haven't had a lot of issues with the stock. Some have, some haven't. It seems to be kind of a crapshoot when you get the stock, whether it's going to be good or bad. This one is in 30-06, and it came with this plastic stock, which is kind of a two-piece arrangement. It has the little aluminum bedding thing here and like that. The problem is it's so flexy and light and moves so much that I couldn't get the rifle to be accurate unless I fired it exactly so. If I held it precisely in the right position at the right time in the right way, I could get it down to 1 minute of angle, 1 inch at 100 yards. Now, I should clarify something for you and tell you that I'm a little blind in my right eye. My right eye needs surgery, and I haven't been able to afford it. I got some stuff going on with the retina there. So everything's fuzzy. So when I look through an optic, I can't see the target clearly or the reticle clearly. It's fuzzy and blurry. So I can shoot with it, but if I really want to be super accurate, I need to shoot left-handed because my left eye's in great shape, and I get a crisp image of the reticle and the target. So if I took this rifle in this stock and fired it left-handed, the best I could do was 1 minute of angle. If I shot it right-handed, it was more like 1.5 inches or so on, which is okay, but then I would be in some weird position, or I would hold it a little differently, and it would become minute of volleyball, just because the stock had too much flex in it and wouldn't hold the action steady. Then if I took it and put it in a rest like this thing, like this lead sled, if I put it in the lead sled, I had to be it's really strange. You put it in a lead sled like this, you expect it to shoot more accurately because you have the rifle really secured, but it didn't. It didn't matter whether I just left it there and took my hand off of it and let it bounce when I shot, or if I held it down with my support hand and fired, or if I, if I strapped it down like this, what I discovered was this drove the barrel into the stock and my free-floating barrel was gone, and then it was minute of garage door. So it was a very frustrating rifle in the sense that it was never quite reliably accurate. If I held it exactly so and fired it exactly so, I could get it down to there. So when Boyd's Gun Stocks called me and said, hey, we got a new stock, the Spike Camp stock, would you like to review it? I said, yes, because I've got other Boyd's Gun Stocks. I've always been super impressed with them. They make them very well. I do have one issue with them I'll share with you here in a minute, but hang on for that. But when you compare the cheapy stock that came with the rifle with this very stiff, very strong, very well-made wooden stock, the difference is amazing. So right eye, fuzzy eye, and everything else, I could easily shoot this thing 1 minute of angle. If I'm shooting left-handed, it's under 1 minute of angle. It's under 1 inch. It's close, really close to 1/2 inch if I take my time. Here's the interesting thing. So I fired the rifle, kind of offhand, or however you would say that, I guess. Standing up, I fired it prone. I fired it off of a shooting bag out at the Polar Range with Pete. I fired this thing on this lead sled, and to test it, I fired it a bunch of different ways. I strapped it down and fired it. That was very accurate when I did that. I let it just sit there, and every time I'd fire, the gun would jump like that, And I still was 1.5 inches, even that way. Or I'd fire it and I'd hold it down with my hand. No matter what I did with it, it didn't have any effect on the stock and the way the stock held onto or secured the action. And that's what I was looking for. So if there's an accuracy problem, it's the knucklehead behind the gun. It's not the fact that I'm gripping the stock too hard. I'm a reasonably strong guy for my age. It's not the fact that I'm doing this, that, or the other thing. It's the fact that I didn't shoot well, but it's not the gun. In this case, this stock about drove me to distraction. So I'm very glad to see it gone. All right, now, a couple things about this stock. This is the Spike Camp stock. You can get it for a wide variety of rifles. I'm very, very impressed with it. It's a thumb hole stock. It's super ergonomic and super comfortable. The only thing I did, because I'm tall, I'm kind of a long neck goose, is I got one of these cheeky stick-on pads and put it in here because it gives me a little bit higher comb, so my eye naturally comes right behind the optic where I want to be. But that does not come with the stock. There is no adjustment on these stocks as there are on other Boyd stocks. It is what it is. There's no adjustable comb or adjustable length of pull or whatever. You're going to have to use other things to do that. There are some options, bunch of different colors, and there's pillar bedding available as well. So there's a base price on the stocks you'll find on the website, and then as you add options, it can get a little bit more pricey. So you kind of want to pay attention to that. The only issue I have with Boyd's gun stocks, and this is it, and it's kind of a minor issue because they're made very well. I can live without it, and that is that they're slick. So if you're like me, I hunt. So if you get a little wet or whatever, the stock is very slick, and it's not as grippy as I would like it to be. Well, the way I change that is I put a little grip tape, a little rough tape on either side where I grip it, and that way it gives me enough purchase on the gun that even if my hands are wet or my gloves are wet or whatever, I still have a really good purchase on the gun. But the way they come, they're beautiful, but they're very slick. Now, the other thing I would tell you about this one is this stock, because these guns are made, all at the same time, and they all fit the same thing. This is a drop-in stock. I have a different stock I got from them for a Mosin Nagant, and because those things are, depending on when you got it and where it was made, they're a little different. That required a little fitting. This did not. Drop it in, torqued it down to the proper setting using my little Wheeler torque deal, and I was off to the races. So I'm super duper impressed. I cannot recommend Boyd's gun stocks more highly. They are awesome. I have more than one, and I will certainly be happy to get others for other rifles if I ever need them, because I've been very happy with them. And the difference between the stock crummy thing that came with the rifle and what this rifle's capable of now that it has a good stock on it is night and day. So check them out. The link will be in the description. If it's YouTube, I'll put it in the first comment and pin it to the top because they're kind of weird about links. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week, and please be safe.